ABMP members get 20% off the list price on all Handspring publishing titles, including Musculoskeletal Pain, Assessment, Prediction, and Treatment by David Walton and James Elliott. Visit handspringpublishing.com to learn about these and other books. ABMP members visit abmp.com/discounts to access your discount code and save 20% on all list prices with free shipping to US and UK addresses. Find your next favorite book at handspringpublishing.com.
I'm Darren Buford.
And I'm Kristin Coverley.
And welcome to the ABMP Podcast, a podcast where we speak with the massage and bodywork profession. Our guest today is Mandy Urena. Mandy was born in Coventry, England. She is an Air Force wife of 27 years, and after training in London, Tokyo, and New York, began her massage career as masseuse to the troops on military bases in Germany, Spain, and Guam. Over a period of almost 3 decades, she has built an international following, including some of the biggest celebrities in the world and people going through cancer. She also worked as an instructor in Philadelphia, teaching a new generation of therapists. If These Hands Could Talk is her debut memoir, and writing about her passion for massage is a dream come true. As a world traveler, she has gallivanted through 64 countries and is now settled in Miami Beach, Florida. Hello, Mandy. Hello, Kristin.
Hi, Kristin. Hi, Darren.
Mandy, hello and welcome. We're so excited to have you with us today to talk not only about your book, but really about all the stories and your experience as a massage therapist that led you to write this really fun and exciting book. We always like to start with our new podcasts by telling a little bit of their story, how they found massage. The first sentence of your book starts, "It all began on a beach in Thailand." So I'm guessing you can pick it up and take it from there.
Exactly. That is the answer to your question. It all began on a beach in Thailand. I was living in Japan at the time. I was working over there teaching English, and I needed to renew my visa, my work visa. So I went on vacation to Thailand, and these little ladies were walking along the beach saying, "You want a massage? You want a massage?" And I had one. It was $10. And I thought it was the best thing in the whole world. I'd never, ever had a massage before. And that was it. I said, this is what I want to do. It was literally an epiphany under a banyan tree. And that's the title of the first chapter.
Mandy, I am very jealous of all the world travel that you've done. Where did the travel bug begin? Not massage yet, but where did the travel bug alone begin?
Well, my dad was in the army, stationed in Sri Lanka, so he would tell tales about that. Another uncle lived in South Africa. Another uncle worked for the United Nations in Switzerland. And so with all these stories, these exotic stories of faraway places, and that got me the bug. And then I would watch movies like Cocktail with Tom Cruise set in Jamaica. And I thought, I have to go to Jamaica. And then this other movie, which was called Not Quite Jerusalem. It was a real B movie, but it changed my life. And I went to work on a kibbutz in Israel just from this cheesy movie.
I know a lot of massage therapists are listening, and I'm sure they're probably enviable thinking about how they blend massage and travel. That may not have been your original goal, but you did end up kind of blending the two. Can you tell us how you successfully made that your kind of life mission?
It was easy. I married an Air Force guy and we moved around the world. We got stationed on bases from Japan to Germany to New Jersey to Spain to Guam and now in Miami.
That's so exciting. And I know it can feel intimidating for a lot of massage therapists to think about leaving their practice they've built and going off and exploring new parts of the world. But that is one of the benefits of our bodywork practice, is that you can practice all over the world.
Yeah, we can take our hands everywhere and our table. We can set up. I mean, yes, it's a bit of a pain having to rebuild your clientele everywhere you go, but that's the fun part. It doesn't get boring.
And talking about not getting boring, you've trained in a lot of different modalities. So starting with shiatsu, Swedish, reflexology, hot stone, healing touch, on and on. So what led you to try different modalities? Did you experience them and then get excited about them? Or tell us more about that journey of building your whole toolbox of massage techniques.
Well, you're trained in Swedish and a bit of deep tissue, and you touch on a few things in massage school. But I wanted to learn everything there was about my career field because it's pretty fascinating. And you read books and you go to seminars and you take extra CEU classes. And then you fall in love with one modality as opposed to another. And it just makes you a more well-rounded therapist. And so someone doesn't come to you because you just do Swedish. They come because they've heard you do myofascial release or they do pregnancy massage. And so actually, from a financial perspective, you're increasing your clientele.
I'm curious, what are your favorite modalities to practice? And are there any that you've let go of along the way? Like I used to practice hot stone and I dropped that like a hot stone and moved forward. So I'm curious, are there any that just turned out not to be quite right for you?
Yeah. Well, I love myofascial release, sports massage. I love doing the deep stuff to really fix people. And I do love Swedish too, but I didn't like lymphatic drainage. It's too slow. It's so beneficial. Absolutely. But it's just not for me. I'm more of a bull in a china shop. I'm a tourist. So I kind of dropped that one.
Okay, Mandy, let me shift to the book. What motivated you to write a massage memoir?
Well, I love to write. I've always loved to write. And I've had such an unconventional career and wanted to show everything possible for a new generation of therapists. And also, there are so many other massage books, how to do myofascial release, how to do deep tissue. And then at the other end of the spectrum are the sleazy tell-alls. But I feel like this is one of a kind. No one's ever written anything like this. And you get to go all over the world in my book. So you're loaded with culture and food as you read. And it's funny as well. I like to use humor in my writing. So you'll laugh out loud every other page. But then you'll cry in the oncology and end of life chapters. And then by the time you finish the book, for the layperson anyway, they're dying to get on the massage table, try a new massage like Thai or something. And then they realize how much they know about massage that they never knew before.
Do you have an audience in mind when you write it? Do you have the public in mind or massage therapists specifically in mind or everyone?
When I first started writing, I thought it was for the layperson because I wanted to explain how fantastic our industry is. And I wanted to dispel a lot of myths. But actually, it really is for both massage therapists and the public because I talk about fun marketing tips like massage in a bottle at Christmas or employee appreciation days in Italian restaurants or selling products like pashmina shawls in my office. And then also massage therapists can learn from my mistakes, my crazy stories, and how I put myself in danger with new clients sent to me by Google. And massage therapists will be motivated into branching out into something completely new like I did. I just hope it's inspirational for them. And I think it is. I wrote it because of 25 years of ridiculous questions I hear as a massage therapist. Like, do you have to go to school for this? You know, what do you do for a living? It's like, what do you mean? What do I do for a living? I'm massaging you. It's 10 o'clock in the morning on a Monday. What do you think I do? So, these things need to be addressed. They really do. People want to know these crazy things. So I wrote about it. There's no holds barred and it's funny. You got to see the humor in it.
Mandy, in the book, you do blend the funny and the serious, and it's so entertaining and easy and fun to read. And you're a great storyteller. So tell us some stories, sort of the highlights when you think of your career that really stand out.
Oh my goodness. Well, it has to be the Alaska chapter, which is all about oncology massage. And I know you read that one. So basically one day my client came in and he said to me, my wife just got diagnosed with breast cancer and they were regulars. And I was really freaking out because I didn't know anything about oncology massage. And she wanted to come in because she was all depressed. And I didn't know if I was doing it safely or not. So I used lavender and I did a little bit deep on her shoulders because she said they were hurting. And I said, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. So I found a class in Alaska and I flew up there. And I did this amazing class and we had clinic on one of the days. And so the women would come and some of them had had a double mastectomy. Some of them were just scars. And some of them had had, a really beautiful, had really beautiful implants. And they had to have proper massage. We had to know the skills. We had to use all of these new techniques. And it was really moving. And it took me all my time not to cry. And they just put their life and their trust in our hands. And we would hold their head, just hold it. And it was so moving for them. And sometimes they were driven to tears. And sometimes I was too, like sitting there with their head in my hands, just holding and using my energy and my heat, but very, very gently. And they hadn't had any massage for the duration of their cancer treatments through chemo and many other things because it was contraindicated. And then suddenly they're looking to us to bring them some relief. And that was very, very touching. And then when I started specializing in it, the people that would come and put their trust in me again on my table, and they would leave feeling really wonderful. And then I would cry. I'd wait until they left and I would cry. So yes, talk about touching.
Absolutely. And sometimes the simplest touch can be the most powerful.
Yes. And I would not have said that before I did the oncology massage class.
And then did you make it the specialty of your practice, or were you doing a combination of therapies at that time?
I was doing a combination, but basically I wanted to specialize. And I revamped, I put new carpets in, I just totally revamped my business. And I was open for 6 months doing oncology massage. And then, wouldn't you know it, my husband got a transfer to Spain. And I write about this in the book, and I was absolutely gutted because I had to leave my practice. And it's weird because only 1% of us, of the population of massage therapists, only 1% actually do oncology massage. So there was no one I could get to take over my business. And it broke my heart.
Mandy, do you have a favorite place that you worked as an MT?
Well, now, actually, I'm working in Miami Beach. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. I love my job. I love it so much. I work in an exclusive hotel, members only. It's super high end. And I work 2 days a week. That's it. That's all I want to work. I have paid my dues, 25 years in the industry. So I'm working smarter, not harder now. So I get paid really well, doing 2 days a week, and I get to massage royalty, rock stars. I mean, you have no idea. I wish I could tell you who I massaged the other day. I mean, you'd know. I'm going to give you a hint. It was an American Idol judge. There you go. I can't say it.
Which decade? No, I'm just kidding.
Let's take a short break to hear a word from our sponsors.
Anatomy Trains is delighted to invite you to our in-person fascial dissection workshop, May 30th through June 3rd, 2022. We're excited to be back in the lab with Anatomy Trains author Tom Myers and master dissector Todd Garcia in Todd's Laboratory of Anatomical Enlightenment in Boulder, Colorado. Join students from around the world and from all types of manual, movement, and fitness professions to explore the real human form, not the images you get from books. Visit anatomytrains.com for details. Universal Companies knows you're busy. So stop searching around and get all of your massage and bodywork products, supplies, equipment, and education in one place. Universal Companies. With 40 years of experience and professionals like you on staff, you can trust your needs will be met. Explore the website and go to universalcompanies.com/ABMP for a special discount just for ABMP podcast listeners. That's universalcompanies.com/ABMP.
Now let's get back to the podcast.
Okay, Mandy, we're going to tap into your unique experience because you are able to give us a window and some insight into something that most of us don't normally know or learn about. You have traveled the world. You've not only been a massage therapist all over the world, but you've received massage all over the world. So tell us a little bit more about how does it differ? Or maybe it's same, but different. Maybe there's a lot of similarities from country to country and modality to modality.
So, well, in the US, people have their massage therapist on speed dial, and they see it as a preventative medicine. And I'm the first person they call when they're feeling pain or they're feeling down. And it's mostly respected in the US. So in England, where I'm from, it's getting better with sports massage chains setting up. But the general consensus, I think, in England is that you go to a destination spa with your girlfriends for the weekend. You have a bit of pampering for a bachelorette party, a bit of champagne. You know, it's a destination thing. In Japan, where I also lived for 8 years, it's seen as part of health. And you get a tune-up midday because there are shiatsu clinics on every corner all over Tokyo. And they give you clothing to wear. So it's really weird. You walk in and they give you a cross between pajamas and a karate outfit. There's no nakedness, there's no oil. And it's just, well, shiatsu means finger pressure. So they just do pressure and it's absolutely fantastic. It's $60. I was there a couple of years ago and it was $60. And then in Germany, we were stationed in Germany and the doctors actually prescribe you a 6-week stay at the Cure House. That's KUR. And you go and you have the mud packs, you have massages. They believe in cryotherapy. So you've got the ice pools, the ice plunges, and the hammams, the steam rooms and the saunas. And the weird thing about that is that everybody's naked. So it's completely opposite from Japan. And the Germans are very blasé about it. They're very liberal, I should say, about it. So you're on the table, there's uninhibited nakedness, and a male massage therapist can come in and massage you. And you just have to get over yourself because it's the culture. And then in Egypt, I've had massages there. And the Arabic massages, like the ones in the hammam in Paris that I was just telling you about, well, they're fast and furious. And I don't know why. They are so fast and so furious. And you feel like you're being pounded like a schnitzel. And it feels good. I mean, I have to say. And my massage therapist came into the room and she was in sweats. She was in a jogging suit. And I thought, right, it's a little weird, but okay, when in Rome. And then she started pounding and rubbing really fast. And halfway through the massage, she was sweating and she took off her jacket and she massaged me in her bra and her sweat bottoms. I thought it was hysterical. But the thing is, in Egypt, it's called a natural massage. So natural massage means women massage women and men massage men, and never the twain shall meet.
Mandy, what advice would you have for other MTs wishing to blend travel and bodywork?
Well, that's easy, actually. So you could marry a military man and work on bases all over the world is one option. Another option, you could work for a hotel chain and ask for a transfer to London or Hong Kong. Another one, you can do a working holiday in places like Australia. So you can get a work visa for 1 year to work legally. The criteria is you have to pick fruit. It's quite funny. You have to pick fruit for a couple of months. And then for the rest of your year, you can do whatever you want. So you can work in a bar, a restaurant, or you can work in a spa. So it's an under 30s thing, I believe. It was more for younger people. But yeah, definitely. If I was under 30, which I'm not, I know I look it, but I'm not. So if I was under 30, I would definitely look at work visas in Australia. And I would, pick my fruit, which is obligation for a couple of months, pick your grapes in the wineries. And then I would go off and I would do my massage in Sydney or any of the other fabulous places and do it there. Great to put on your resume. And then lastly, so probably the most obvious option is to work on the cruise ships. And you are working like a farm animal. It is long hours. I've spoken to a few of them and they work in tiny, dingy rooms. I mean, yes, they're beautiful. It's a 5-star cruise ship, but they're working really long hours, sometimes 10-hour days. And you do get tips and they probably make, I think they were telling me they made about $1,000 a week, but broken down by the hour, it's actually not that much. And then when they do get a day off, they'll be in the Caribbean, the Virgin Islands. So they will be allowed to step off the ship and go and tour. And then, if they're in New Zealand or something, they'll be able to see that as well. So it does give them opportunity to see the world like I have, which is great. And I think you can do it for a couple of seasons, but it is really backbreaking work. But you know what? If you're young and you're strong, go for it. I say just get out there, go for it.
Mandy, I'm still got the picking fruit in my brain. And just to me, that's got to be right at the job application portion. Must pick fruit.
I'm just disappointed I've aged out of the Australian fruit visa because I was ready to start packing my bags.
Ready to start packing your bags and stomping your grapes.
That's right. Absolutely. Mandy, another part of your journey, as if there's space for new and additional parts of your journey, is that you taught massage for a while. Tell us about that experience. What did you learn through teaching?
Oh my goodness, I could write a book just on teaching massage. And there are a couple of chapters in the book. One of the chapters is called Teaching the Art of Massage with Play-Doh. And honestly, I did. So for example, you're teaching the muscles. It can get boring. There are so many muscles. We're learning muscles every day. So, you have a bony man in the classroom. You have the big skeleton hanging up. And so we would all make muscles. For example, we'd make the latissimus dorsi and we'd use different colored Play-Doh. And each team would have to go and put it on the bony man. And they would say where the origin was, where the insertion was, and what the function was. And they learned. I mean, they really learned, and they had so much fun doing it. And another thing I would do is use flashcards. They were all brightly colored, and they would sit in a group of 4 or 5, and each would have maybe 6 cards each. And they would read their question out to their group, and the group would answer. And if somebody got it wrong, great. Everybody knows it's wrong. And you had to put it at the bottom of the pile because you got it wrong. And then the next person would read their 5 questions. And then you'd go back to all the questions you got wrong and you had to get it right before you could finish. So that was just so much fun. And then we would do spa days when we learned about hydrotherapy and cryotherapy, all that kind of stuff, which is one of the modalities in massage school. I would bring in all of my stuff, all of my toys, my hot stones. I would bring ice, Ziploc bags, and teach them how to make ice packs. I'd bring in hot stones. I'd bring in the aromatherapy, foot baths, scrubs for the face. And we had such a good laugh. We had a whole day and we got into such a mess. There was mud, there was salt, water all over the place. And we had to clear it up before the night class came in. But I had the best time. I loved my students. I loved them so much. And we were like family. And they would come in the mornings and give me a hug. Now, I've taught before. I taught English in Japan, but this was completely different. And these hugs were just wonderful in the morning, and they trusted you and they listened to what you had to say. And because it was fun, they loved to learn. And I'm still in touch with a load of them now. And they'll still call me and ask me a question about massage like 10 years later. And when I go back to Philadelphia for a visit, I'll let them know and we'll have a little reunion. We'll meet in a bar for a happy hour. And it's an absolute riot, just reliving our massage days. There was no job I've loved as much as teaching a new generation of massage therapists.
Mandy, let's bring it on home now. What do you think ultimately contributed to your success as a massage therapist and body worker?
Well, I've always reinvented my career and tried new modalities, as we talked about. So I was never bored. I wasn't just doing Swedish in a spa. And I was learning to incorporate trendy modalities. So at the time it was hot stone. Now it's things like bamboo massage. And I even did postpartum massages in the ward right after the mums gave birth. That was a really lovely job. So it was always something different. I worked for a chiropractor. I did poker massage in Atlantic City in a casino. That was hysterical. You're working on these crazy poker players, and they're all trying to win the $100,000 prize. And they're sitting slumped, cowboy style, over their chairs around the poker table. And they are literally there all day for hours and hours, all night long. And so they have the poker massage therapists, me, and we would go with our little towels. And it was $20 for 15 minutes. So they could have 15, 30, 45, a whole hour. And we would do basically shiatsu because we weren't really supposed to use oil, but I would, sneak in my little bottle to use on the neck just to pass the time. Because what do you do for an hour when someone's slumped over a chair? And that was a really wonderful thing. So that was completely different from what I had been doing. It just makes it really fun and it keeps the passion alive. And as we talked about, now I'm 25 years in. And I keep thinking, I've got to retire. But then I just love it so much. So my compromise is that I do 2 days a week and I work smarter, not harder. And now I know what I'm worth. So you get what you pay for. You really do.
Mandy, I just love your confidence and your passion and the variety that you've brought to your work over your career. It's just truly inspiring, even to writing the book, which is its whole other thing that massage therapists may be curious about or may be interested. Did you have any advice for anybody who's looking to take a writing path, or massage therapists who are interested in that as well?
Yes. So I want to read your book. I will buy it. I promise you. And I will help you write it. I will give you some pointers. But basically, get your story out there. Just get it out there. The key to writing is write what you know. So massage. You have your stories, your anecdotes. Everyone has something to share, something unique to teach. And I would advise just sit down like I did one night in bed and write one story, just one. Do it tonight. Sit down with your yellow pad in your bed and literally spew onto the page. Just write that story that you thought was so funny or so touching or something that you need to teach your peers about. And you don't have to be great at first. You just write, because in the industry, they say it's not about writing, it's about rewriting. So the story gets tweaked on the second draft and the third, and then it gets edited and then re-edited. And then it gets read and critiqued by your beta readers. That's, friends and family and other authors. And they give their opinion. And so you add, you delete, and the final rewrite will be just amazing. And then just remember, you have a right to write. You really do. You really, really do. And probably what you produce is better than, a lot of the stuff out there, honestly.
Oh, my heart's all aflutter just talking about editing and writing.
I could write till the cows come home. I really could.
I want to thank our guest today, Mandy Urena. Purchase Mandy's book, If These Hands Could Talk, at Amazon.com, Audible, or your favorite online or local book retailer. Thank you, Mandy, and thank you, Kristin.
Thank you so much, guys. That was so much fun.
Oh, Mandy, thanks so much for being with us today and for a fun conversation.
Thank you. I loved it. Can we do it again tomorrow?
Join us at the free ABMP CE Summit on Monday, March 21st. This one-day online conference focuses on fascia and takes learners on a journey from understanding fascia, what it looks like, its role in the body in different types, to working with it using multiple modalities and techniques. Instructors include keynote presenter Dr. Robert Schleip and CE course instructors Rochelle Clausen, Allison Denny, Joy Edwards, Gil Headley, David Lazondak, Whitney Lowe, Till Luca, and Kathy Ryan. This event and 4 hours of CE is free for everyone in the profession. Visit abmp.com/summit to learn more and register today.